Hello, welcome to Steve's Retirement Corner. Make your retirement your own. Where I get this at is from on the computer here. You'll see a lot of discussion about how to retire, what kind of hobbies you ought to have, how to occupy your time, how to uh, how to retire early, how to save, how to withdraw, all this stuff here. They're all probably pretty good general ideas, but you're a unique individual, and your retirement is not going to be like anybody else's because you're unique. It's going to be your retirement is going to be yours and yours alone. It doesn't have anything to do with how anybody else has done it. What got me is there was this article going around a couple of days ago I read about how most people shouldn't retire early because it end up being a bad end up being bad for them or whatever. And you read that article, it's got a lot of downplaying retiring early. But if you look at it logically, none of it makes any sense. That only affects, according from what I get from that article, it's only going to affect a small number of people in the country. It's somebody who only has 100,000 saved, lives to the 90, 95, or 100, and retires real early, like at 40 or some bull. I mean, just don't nobody do that. The overwhelming majority of people in the country are regular to average Joes. They don't make a ton of money. They're not used to flying to Europe in the spring and going down to Cancun for the winter and stuff like that. They're used to getting them a drink of tea, sitting down watching a little ball game on the weekend, maybe going down to the river and fishing, do a little hunting in the fall. That's about it. We just don't do a whole lot. And for them to say that I'm going to need 80 to 100% of my pre-retirement income, that's so much bull. I can't stand it. Just on the face of it, that's wrong. You say you make $100 a week. 20% of that is coming out in taxes. So there you're down to living on 80% right there. If you take out another 10 to 20% for your 401, then you're down to 70, somewhere between 70 and 60% that you're living off of. They don't count anything else that comes out, medical or union dues or whatever else you got come taken out. So you're actually only living on about between 60 and 70% of what you make. So why am I going to need 80%? That's just bass backwards to begin with. There's so much bull going around on the internet, and so many doomsayers out there telling you can't do it. They don't know you. They don't know your personal consumption. They don't know how much money you have. They don't know what your Social Security is going to be. They don't know anything about you. But they telling you can't retire early. All these big papers being put out by these people that are supposed to know what they're talking about. But if you ain't got no debt and you got a decent Social Security payment and you got a few bucks put it back in the bank or saved for retirement, you're gonna have a bit of trouble in the world. Now, granted, you can't plan for everything. You couldn't plan for everything while you were working. So how you going to be able to plan for everything when you ain't working? You can't do it. You can't foresee all the problems that could come up. Therefore, you can't plan for them. Even if you could plan for them, are you able to actually execute the plan? No. Nobody can do that. There's a very select few people in the world that can do that. The rest of us have to do the best we can and just wing it from there. Don't let nobody talk you into how to retire or when to retire. You set your mind up, you work to achieve it, get you a plan, and go with it. And don't let nobody else tell you anything different. Now, if you ain't got about $100 to your name and you owe $400,000 on a house and you still owe back taxes and you got terrible health conditions, well, then I would think common sense would tell you, well, that ain't happening. But you ought not to work to the day you drop. That's all. I just was a little upset at the stuff I've been seeing on here the past couple of days. Just want to spout my 2 cents off with. Y'all tell me what you think. Am I right or wrong? Y'all be good. We'll talk at you later.